Welcome, I am Marty Gross, and this is my house. When we started with the decorating of the house, we wanted to maintain the integrity, the Victorian integrity of the house, but also make the house very livable with contemporary furnishings and a contemporary look. And for that, I relied on my friend.
And I'm Hal Davis. I'm the interior designer that worked with Marty and Ralph on this project. And typically, when I'm doing a brand new project for clients, the furnishings, the carpets, the textiles, the furniture, the fabrications on the furniture are what I usually start with. But in this case, Marty wanted to keep the integrity of the home and also pay attention to the Victorian elements of the home. And so we started with the paint selections first. It was important for us to be able to capture the Victorian era and also bring in some of the details, the lighting, the fireplaces and things like this. And so our springboard for this project came from the paint colors. And so kind of stepping backwards, then we started in with the furniture and the rugs came into play. The rug was chosen because it pulled the olive tones and the brownish and green tones from the stencil. The sofa that you see here is an Italian piece, and it was chosen, and the fabrication on this is an ultra suede fabric, and it would also help to pull the colors out of the stencils, and also drew attention to the fireplace tiles. And as you see, the chandelier here with the opalescent finishes on the shades also are representational in the stenciling colors that were chosen. The 14 karat gold leafing on the crown is highlighted here in the fixtures, and the like persimmon, burgundy, the sage green, and the lavender all come into play. And that was all kind of a jumping off point then for the chandelier, and that's how the color palettes were chosen for this room. So all the furniture that was chosen is positioned for mobility and flexibility. So when they entertain, if they needed to pick up some of these ottomans, they could pick those up and float those into another room. The two outer ottomans are leather, and the center one is goat hair. And the reason for that, it adds texture and dimension and interest, and it's something that typically people wouldn't add into their design scheme. Also, on their travels, they brought back a lot of things where there were either hair or fibers that were represented in those art pieces, and so I wanted to be able to tie that together also. And it's interesting that people wouldn't usually branch out or step out of the box to put something like this into their house. And then as we move into the second room, again, we had a couple different features here. The main feature of this room, I would say, was the fireplace, the overmantel mirror, and the copper and crystal chandelier. And so the stencils, as you see, again, coordinate with the color in the room. It was very, very important that the rooms blend to each side. And so in each room, you'll see colors that are represented in either room on the other side of it to create balance and interest. In here we use silver leafing, and as you see, the silver leafing starts at the ceiling and we pull that down to the floor to create entrance and balance here. And then from the fireplace, the slate fireplace, we brought in the high glossy black chairs to tie the fireplace in, and also brought that back down to the floor to anchor that here. The gray B&B Charles sofa is ultra suede again, and that was chosen for the color palettes because, as you see in the stencils, how the silver leaf shines as gray, and so that's why that was chosen and brought down here. So everything was very, very thought out, detailed, and also, as you see, the artwork that Ralph and Marty have chosen to put up on the walls also blends back, and the colors of the pillows, the accessories, and everything that blend from the artwork. I think a lot of people think that when you're designing a house, you just pull up a paint color and you put it on and you look at it. This was a lot of trial and error. I think we probably went through 15, 20 samples of each color chip to get the exact right color. You know, you'd start with your wall color, you'd fall in love with a wall color, and then you'd fall in love with a wall color you thought you were going to put in your stencil, and they just didn't blend quite right, or they didn't blend to the next room. So never feel that you've made an error if you don't hit it right the first time. It's a lot of tedious work, and you need to let it float throughout the day, see how it changes, how it shadows. So if you don't get it right the first time, keep trying.